Hey, Jackrabbit fans, welcome to a special edition from Splitting Hairs and Jackrabbit Illustrated. I don't know if this is a podcast or what we want to call it. I don't think we're uploading them, but we're 57 days out right now from September 3rd from getting to go down to Iowa City. And if you're anything like me, if you're anything like the Jackrabbit Illustrated crew, absolutely cannot wait for that. You're starting to get a little antsy. We're in that sports abyss where there's just baseball going on, whether that's your thing or not. And I tell you, one of the cool things that Matt came up with was doing profiles, because we've got some really solid commits coming in for the Jackrabbits for the 2023 class. So he offered one up to me. I jumped on it immediately. D-line is always near and dear to my heart. So I want to talk about Mr. Nick Wells out of Sioux City, Iowa. Went to Sioux City East. Second team All-State last year as a defensive end. Played both sides of the ball. Solid athlete. Really like this kid. He's got offers from some solid D2 programs in the area. I believe we were the first D1 offer, just judging off of Twitter. That's the only insight that we've got. But I tell you what, I love the way he plays. He played some offensive line too. We can talk about that in a minute, what that brings to the table. But really like what he put on tape. And he seems like somebody that I'm glad we jumped at him early to be able to go ahead and bring him in before he got more interest. Because I know he did visits at UNI, USD. I'm not sure where else he would have went. But Nick brings a lot to the table. So he's got listed on his huddle 73 total tackles, 60 solo, 6 sacks, 24 and a half TFLs. Dude loves to live in the backfield. And some of the things that I really like about the way that he plays, he sets a really hard edge. He's very good laterally. So you can see that here, an example of that. He understands not getting too deep, and as a 16, 17-year-old junior in high school, that can be tough to figure out sometimes. His hustle, I love his motor. I can see what the coaches see in him. And here's the thing, at 6'3", 240, typically a high school junior, when they say they're 240, that means they're like 231, and then one day they had a really big meal and they were like 238, so they list 240. When you look at his pictures and you see some of the stuff from campus, from his visit at South Dakota State, I believe he is actually 240. And my guess from the way that he plays, again, this is purely speculation, I'd probably just try to sneak him in as a 3 technique if he gets to the training table, starts working out with the team, and is able to pack some pounds on that frame. Again, because he's very solid at the line of scrimmage, loves to work, can work laterally, gets downfield, gets in on a lot of tackles that honestly he probably has no business being in on, just due to his hustle and that motor that he's got. So he uses his hands well coming off the line of scrimmage. He's worked out of a 2-point, as you can see there, as well as a 3-point. Very good hands again. And what I think one of his biggest strengths is just that tenacity and his motor. A little bit of inconsistency, I think, with his get-offs. Again, I'm just going off the highlight tape, but he seems to change up his stance a bit. Not to get too D-line nerdy about it, but if you have a compact stance, you're going to get into that O-lineman quicker, just because, again, your feet are closer to the line of scrimmage, you explode into it. If you're extended out too much, unless you're Jadeveon Clowney, it's very tough to get going forward and into that O-lineman quick enough. So I think he's going to have to shore that up a little bit, get a little bit more consistent with how quickly he gets into the line of scrimmage. And he's that tweener size, but again, at 6'3", I think he's got the leverage, very good leverage, as long as he stays low, where I think he can compete and handle whether it's a guard or a tackle and not getting washed from side to side. And then, watching some of that tape at offensive line, and he's got some mean to him. I mean, you love seeing that coming into the room. You love seeing somebody that's got an attitude, chip on their shoulder, and isn't going to get intimidated coming into fall ball right away. So again, Nick Wells, second team All-State last year at defensive end, Sioux City, Iowa. I think the Jacks got a great player in Nick. Hope he's excited to get on campus as we are to see him. Go big, go blue, go Jacks.